Working with pivot tables. A pivot table allows you to ask questions of and make sense of large amounts of complicated data in a user-friendly way. You can arrange and summarize your data in various ways to enable you to focus on the information that you need and allow you to make informed decisions about the data. Firstly, the raw data that you are creating your pivot table from needs to be laid out in a table or list format as shown on the screen. Ensure that the data has no blank rows or columns and that each column has a header as shown on the example on screen. My data is a list of sales records showing the date of sale, the salesperson that made the sale, what they sold, who to, and the value of the sale. There's around 100 records. To make sense of the data and ask questions such as, what is my best selling product and who is my best salesperson, then we create a pivot table. To create a pivot table, click into a cell in the data, click the Insert tab and choose the Pivot Table button in the Tables group to display the dialog box. Check the data range to be used for the pivot table and decide if you want to display the pivot table in a new worksheet or one that already exists in your workbook. We will choose a new worksheet, which is the default. Click OK. This creates a new worksheet that displays the field list task pane to the right of the window, which you will now use to tell Excel how you want to lay out the pivot table. Click the tick boxes for the fields you want to use in your pivot table, which will create the pivot table automatically. To reposition the pivot table layout, click and drag fields between the areas in the task pane, and the data and layout of the pivot table changes to show the different summaries of the data. To edit the report labels, simply click into the label and enter the new text. To further customize the design of your report, then click into the cell in the report and click the Design tab. This tab offers a range of design options, including various styles that can be hovered over to see a live preview, and then you can choose from associated options. The Layout group offers various formatting options for adjusting the report layout and display options for totals. To filter the data, simply use the filter arrows for the field you wish to filter by and choose the filter options. To clear the filter, click the filter button and choose to clear the filter, or of course you could deselect the fields. To create a report filter, then drag and drop the field you wish to use into the report filter area to display that field as a filter field on the pivot table, which can be used as a simple report filter. Another way to filter data in a pivot table is to use slices. Slices allow you to quickly filter your data, and the advantage of using slices is that you get a clear view of what you are filtering and have the ability to filter multiple pivot tables, and they look great. To create a slicer, click into the pivot table report, click the Options tab and click the Insert Slicer button in the Sort and Filter group. Select the fields to filter and click OK. The slices now appear above the pivot table. You can drag and drop a slicer to another location on the worksheet and resize it as needed. To use a filter, simply click the fields you wish to filter by and then remove the filter by clicking the Remove Filter button. That concludes this section. Please click on the Exit button and move on to the next section.